What is going on, my flipping and shipping family? For those of y'all that are new to my channel, my name is Josh and I'm a part-time reseller here in West Tennessee. And today's video is the first video that I have made since the whole SoClean lawsuit fiasco. And for those of y'all that have not checked that out, I'll leave a link here or down below. You can go check those videos out and see what all I went through on that. But for all y'all that had left me comments and that gave me support, it was very much appreciated and very much needed at the time, and I'm so thankful for this community and everybody that reached out to me and just told me to basically keep my head up, that everything's going to be all right. Thank you so very much. That's coming from me, from my heart to y'all. And to all the subscribers I picked up since then, I hope that you continue to stay around. I hope that you like what you're seeing. And if you're watching this video, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up because that helps the channel out a lot. So, how's everybody's Christmas? My Christmas was great. I enjoyed Christmas. Christmas was fun. I had a great time with the family. And behind me is one of my Christmas presents. This is from my youngest daughter, Ella. She made that for me as my logo. And I probably can't see the top part of it, but the bottom of it says, and you know, find it and flip it. And that's what we do here. We're all about talking about items to find and to flip for a profit. So today's video is going to be about sports cards or ball cards, Pokemon cards. It's going to deal with cards and basically what's the difference between a raw card and a graded card. And I'll hop into that here in just a second, right after this awesome intro. All right, so apparently you stayed, you're back. You want to know about what the difference between a raw card and a graded card is to help improve your chances of making some money. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. A raw card, ladies and gentlemen, is just this. It is a card that's loose. You probably find them in the wild all the time, like in a Ziploc bag or in the white boxes that hold them. You might find them by opening a pack of cards and pulling a card out. It's just a loose single card that has not been sent to a grading company to be slabbed. That is called a raw card. So while we're talking about grading companies, let's just do that real quick. There are three main grading companies that I recommend you look for. Number 3 is SGC, which is these guys right here. Number 2 is Beckett, which is these guys right here. And the number 1 and pretty much the standard for grading is PSA, which is what these guys are right here. So why do you send cards to get graded? You send cards to get graded because it substantially increases the value of a card. I mean, substantially. And I say that because it does, but at the same time, it all depends on the grade. So let's talk about grading a card. What you would do is you would send a card that's raw or loose like this into one of those three companies. They will inspect the card. And that means when they inspect it, they thoroughly inspect it. One person sits there and looks it over, and then they send it to somebody else to double check to make sure that card is what it is by grade. They also check for authenticity, make sure that the card is actually a legit card, that it wasn't a excuse me, that it wasn't a repop. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, so they check for that. They want to make sure that it's a legit card that you get. Now, you can find these cards anywhere that you can send it, and you can send in any kind of card you want to have graded. The rule of thumb is to really look it over and make sure that if you think it's perfect, and by perfect I mean you want to look at the centering from top to bottom, left and right, also on the back. Make sure there's no scratches, no scuff marks, and nothing on the face of the card along with the back. You want to make sure that your edges are nice and crisp and straight, no dents, no fraying of the paper, nothing like that. All that stuff makes a difference. So if you can look at a card and think that it has every bit of that, then send that bad boy in. So again, why do we send cards in? We send them in to get graded to help the value substantially. So how cards are graded is from 1 to 10. 1 being poor, 10 being outstanding, or perfect even. How about that? So 1, we don't want. 10 is what we want. So let's say we start with 10. This is a PSA 10. Now remember, PSA is the standard. This is what, when you go and you compare cards to, a lot of people say, what's a PSA 10? This is what a PSA 10 is. It is a card that has been graded, and if you look on the label, it'll actually say Gem Mint 10 on it. This card right here is a PSA 10. So this card is perfect, essentially. There's no flaws on it at all that the inspector could find, and that's why it got a rating of 10. Now, each card that comes from PSA, and along with all the other grading companies, receive a special number that goes into their database, so that even you can go and research it and make sure that this card is what this card is supposed to be. So just rule of thumb to remember for that. Now, the other companies, and Beckett's one of the ones I like about this, they will actually tell you why a card isn't a 10. And if you look on their little data plate like this, you see it says that all the corners and the surface and all that. But anyway, it says centering, edges, corners, surface, all 9.5s. So this card overall is a 9.5. Pretty cool. I don't know what throws it off enough to be, a 9.5 instead of a 10, because I'm no grader. But just the thought that they put that on there so I can see, it helps me understand. And then SGC, they don't do the information on there, but they give you a cool looking border around your card that kind of makes it pop. But this card, as you can tell, it's a 9.5. Again, I missed a 10 by half a point. So there's a lot that goes into that half a point though, so I'm not really complaining. But that's what's in the card to get graded. That's what it is. I mean, you're basically taking a raw card and you're getting it put in those nice protectors. It's going to be protected for years, no moisture, nothing to get to them, because they're vacuum sealed basically in there. So finding graded cards in the wild though is probably going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. You'll have a better opportunity to finding raw cards and sending those in. I just ask that you make sure you do your homework before you jump into it. It's a good way to make some money. I mean, if you look at this, I mean, that's a couple $100 worth of cards sitting right there, and you see how much room it takes up. Hardly any. I mean, if you have a chance to collect cards to resell, the storage space is a lot smaller, trust me, y'all, and it opens up a different avenue for you to make a little money too. Card market's hot. It's been hot since pretty much last spring. It really started moving, and it's still rolling. It's getting hotter and hotter. Actually, myself, I'm moving away from sports cards and actually going to Pokemon. And the reason for doing that is, one, I can find the Pokemon cards a lot easier at my Walmarts and Targets. Two, next year is the 25th anniversary for Pokemon, and it is going to be outrageous. I can already tell y'all right now. And three, I am collecting and basically spending time with my son while I do it. So we're doing that together. We're enjoying it, and it's been a lot of fun. And the cards are actually a lot cooler. I mean, let's face it, you have something like this, which is, I mean, it's a card, a basketball player, or you have something that's like this, that's all nice and shiny and has a cool look to it. And it just depends on what you're into. So again, I'm doing it, one, to make some money. My son already knows it. But two, we're also building sets and stuff together that we're gonna hang on to for a while. We're investing is what we're doing. And while we're investing, we're spending time together and building some pretty cool memories. That's pretty much all I have for y'all when it comes to cards and raw cards and graded cards. Just, be mindful of, if you want to get into this, if you have any more questions, you can just comment below or hit me up on my Instagram, and I will talk you through how I send cards in and things I look for. And if you want a more in-depth video about what type of cards to look for, anything like that, I'll be glad to talk to you. I just want to get this out there and let y'all know that when you find raw cards, there's a lot of potential in these. I mean, there really is. And you can look them up just like you can look up anything else on eBay. Look them up and see. You never know. You might find a card in a box of cards that's worth 20, 30, 40 bucks, but you might have 10 of them in there. I mean, that's a good little chunk of change, y'all. I'm just throwing that out there. Again, thank y'all for taking time to watch this video. I have a What Sold video coming up here probably next day or so, and I'll be dropping that. But if you have any questions, comment below. And if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up, because it helps the channel grow. And I will see y'all next time on Flipping and Shipping.